Hey, how's everybody doing? Today we are going to talk about how I blew these in-ear monitors. So stay tuned. Also, I'll give you some information you may not have known and present you an alternative that you can have to these in-ear monitors. So some of you may have checked out my previous video. I was all excited about these Basn Beemaster in-ear headphones that I got. You could check out that video. I never remember anymore. I'm so out of practice with YouTube. So on one of these two sides, I'll pin it there. You can look at that review if you haven't seen it. First of all, before we go any further in this video, I'm going to say two things. Number one, disclaimer. The reason these headphones or these in-ears blew is no fault of Basn Beemasters. It doesn't speak to the quality of these in-ears. It's not their fault. Let me get that out the way immediately. This video is not to throw this company under the bus. Second of all, I'm not a LA fan, all right? Just need the hat for the color. I like the color. I wear the hat. Some of you guys out there and girls out there, you get it. All right, so I talked about these headphones. I was very excited about these headphones. And a situation happened. I went to a church, was called for a gig to help out this church. Initially, I wasn't supposed to play for the entire service. I was just supposed to come with a group and play. But a few days before, they were like, hey, can you just cover the whole service? So I said, cool. I get there, and the first red flag was this. I turn on their amplifier, and I go to adjust the volume button, and I hear and I said, uh-oh. All right, if you ever, for you beginner bass players, maybe you intermediate bass players that don't play on a lot of gigs, that's not a good sound. It means that the amplifier is on its way out. And I'm usually a guy that brings my own gear, but because I had a feeling I'd leave this church probably before it was over, or they usually have good gear when I go. I didn't think anything about it. I didn't bring my stuff, didn't want to lug it around. It was just like, I'll just go play and leave. Yeah, probably should have brought my own stuff. So second thing, the way the church is set up, I'm sitting towards you. There's a keyboard, which would be right next to the camera. But next to the keyboard, or to the side of the keyboard, is an amplifier that's pointed right at my face, okay? To my left is an organ, and the organ has a wedge speaker right above it. So that person can control their volume. This person in front of me can control their volume. There are a few P16s, you know, the in-ear system that you can control and set, but there aren't enough for all of the musicians. So there's a mix of in-ears and there's a mix of wedges. Who do you think wins that competition, right? I did not have a P16. So I have the amp that's behind me. I believe it was a SWR big boy, maybe a 12, 15, whatever the case is. But like I told you, we were already getting, and it was, I think, set when I got there to maybe about halfway up in volume. So as the day is going on, the first song or two, I'm like, I cannot hear myself. The keyboard is loud, the organ, Leslie is near me too, so that's a bit loud, but then he also has that wedge, and because he can't hear, he's turning up his wedge, which is everything coming out of it louder. But the bass isn't coming through any more loud than it should be. So I get the bright idea, wait, I got in-ears, right? Let's put the in-ears. There's a phone's input in the amp behind me. So I said, well, let's throw on the adapter that comes with these bad boys, stick it in there, and then I can play. It was a phenomenal idea at first. All right, so I'm playing, but at this point, I turned up the bass amp behind me probably like somewhere between 80% and 100% of its max volume before plugging in these earphones. And I'm playing, and now I can hear, and I'm like, yo, this is love. I'm out here, I can hear myself, I can hear everybody else, this is good. And I played for approximately, probably about 30 minutes with these bad boys, and they held up, which is, it speaks to how good these in-ears are. And then danger happened. The choir began to sing, I'm walking in authority, right? Donnie McClurkin. and we get going on that low B flat. I don't think they sang it in the original key. The one is on the B flat. Da 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 da. You know what? I'm gonna just put in a clip right here, not the original. I'll put in a clip of what I was playing and what I was hearing in my headphones, and then I'm going to give you a clip of what it turned into, because thankfully I have an amplifier that can replicate the sound that I began hearing out of these bad boys. He's giving me dominion, yes. Power over minion, yes. Wah, 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 wah. So that's what I got. So when I went from the original bass sound to what you started hearing that was like wet paper towels, these in-ears started to get extremely warm in my ears, and then went from extremely warm to extremely hot right before I started to hear that wah, 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 wah. And they got hot enough to where I had to yank them out of my ears. And at that point, I knew I'd blew them. I took them out immediately. I tried to put them back in a few minutes later to see. I couldn't hear squat. So I get home, I immediately just jump on Amazon. I buy a second pair, which I have here, because another guy that I play with already had the white. I have the white and black ones. Another guy I play with a lot has white and black ones, and I said, you know what? He's very good about keeping them on his person at all times, but just in case they were to get mixed up or whatever the case is, let me get a different color. But also, I just like being different, so I got these orange and black ones here. And I like them. But I told you guys I was going to give you some information you did not know, and also a possible alternative. Now, before I go into that, last thing about these, I still use these to this day. So the driver that I blew apparently is the low driver, which makes sense because I was playing bass at the time, and I was in the basement at the time that these blew. I still use these headphones despite blowing a driver in each side to this day for just regular YouTube stuff that's just talking. I can still use it on my phone. The volume's a little lower. It's definitely compromised. It's not as loud, but if it's just highs or mids talking, I'm able to still use these. So I keep them around for that. But like I said, I replaced them with those orange and black B Masters. But I was looking for another set of headphones as well. For my wife, who is starting to get into music a little bit. She's starting to do some singing and things of that nature. So I said, let me get her a pair. So I went with these, also, same by Basn. I went with these B Singers, okay? Oh, wrong one, sorry. These B Singers, all right? They look like that. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them. Maybe I'll take a picture and cut them in. But B Singers, all right? Let me, I'm on Amazon as we speak. So let me let you know what they are. They're $40, okay, as compared to these $90 B Masters or $99 B Masters, depending on if you catch them on sale or not. And honestly, the only difference, they're both braided cords. They're both braided cords, just the B Singers are a darker color. And the only other difference is that the B Masters come with this beautiful basin case, which is very nice for protecting them. But being that I blew the other B Masters, I just used the basin case for these B Singers. But I find that the B Singers, the quality is just as good. I find that the top sounds a little better, not as thin. I like it. I think the lows are still pretty round and punchy. Maybe not as much punch, but for the difference in like $50, listen, if you're looking for them, you can have these, especially if you use something like a P16 or Allen and Heath or whatever kind of in-ear control system where you have controls over the frequencies. Go with those and save yourself some money. Unless you want the case. I mean, there are other cases out there. You could probably go to a Walmart or a Target, get yourself a small case. I wish I had my small case here. I would show you guys that I keep my tuner in and a few other things. Throw it in there and you'll be fine. You know, you're still getting the 1/4-inch adapter. You're still getting multiple headphone changes that you can change out. So go with those. So the last thing I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to leave you all alone, is I noticed when I got my second pair of B Masters, It's very clear on the B singers, but I didn't see it on the B masters until I got my second set. I would just go with my ears on what I know the color, like I told you the last time in my other video. I put white in the right, and I just knew that the black goes in the left, and just also based on how they sit. But I didn't realize that there is a very small lettering on the actual headphones themselves near where they plug in. And one says R and one says L. And you may miss them because they're clear. The backs of the headphones are clear and the lettering is in white, especially on the left side for these. Very hard to tell. I'll take a picture and then I'm gonna cut it into this video. But if you're ever struggling as to know which is which, just know that they're listed right there on the headphones, all right? So that's how I blew my headphones. Hopefully you never are as foolish as I am. I'm giving you the signs though, if it happens or if it's getting close to happening, you know, you start feeling your headphones warming up a little bit or you start hearing wah, 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 wah. Unplug them things immediately. Stop what you're doing, unplug them immediately because you're about to lose your headphones. But again, I'm giving a lot of credit to Basn to be taking that punishment from a 12 or 15 at max volume for over 30 minutes before going out. And it probably only went out because I was hanging on that open B flat. So some good quality, some good quality. Again, if you want something a little cheaper, go with the B singers instead of the B masters. I'm Soul Catalyst. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Hopefully my next video will be another tutorial. And we're gonna talk about tutorials and what's gonna change with those going forward in the next video. All right, have a good one. Take it easy. God bless. Thank you for completing another video by yours truly, Soul MCA. If you enjoy instructional lessons, bass tutorials, helpful facts and information, then this channel is certainly for you. Please like and subscribe and join this growing community where we take the mystery out of the music. Remember, the good musicians get the gigs, but the cocky ones don't keep them. Check out one of my other videos here, and we'll see you next time.